Check this out. Man, do I ever have a collection for you. Would you look at this stash, guys? Ladies and gentlemen, look at this. What do you think when you look at this stash right here, this collection of what I call the fakers? A lot of truth told in this right here, man. All these different modern materials. We got masonry, we got brick, concrete, porcelain, even down to the styrofoam. And plastic, man. A lot of glass, though. A lot of glass. Even the natural materials right here. The real ones. The stone. But I mean, look at this. Looks familiar, doesn't it? Very familiar. They look like the authentic ones we always find, right? A different kind of faker. But are these really fakers? Look at this and ask yourself that question if you have this hobby when it comes to collecting the major things. The things that I'm looking for. Not all the time, but some of the time that is. And we roll up on these things here. Playing with our minds. And that's the question that I have to ask. Are they still making them out there? The ancient ones. Their spirits. Their energy. Are they still out there making them? After they return back home, to be part of nature. Be out there in the landscape. And they are still making them. I mean, I tell you this all the time. Every time I come across a hunk of glass and I look at it and I think to myself, imagine if the Native Americans came across this stuff. They would love it. It would make making artifacts easier for them, All these different styles, these subtypes. I mean, we even got transitional paleo in this stash. I mean, look at this styrofoam Dalton right here. I found this thing in a parking lot on a rainy day. Never forget it. Kroger parking lot, just got finished raining. Early spring, late March, on a Friday. I think I even filmed it when I picked it up. Thought I found myself a Dalton. But I knew what it was. I knew it was styrofoam. I collected it for that one reason. Because it looks like a Dalton. A lot of these look like they could be woodland points. Woodland style. All these different types, though, has my mind just going all crazy. I mean, here's another one here. That looks like another transitional paleo right there. Made of plastic. Look how nature, or the spirit of them, look how they broke off the bottom. Like they're trying to get that thing fluted. I mean, think about this, though. If you don't have this kind of hobby, looking for the good stuff, the ancient pieces, the points, spirit tips, whatever. If you never had this kind of hobby, to you, this is just what? Another piece of plastic. But to the trained eye, of the ones who love this hobby. And it's just a hobby, it is. And you saw this thing. You would have recognized it for what it looks like, what it represents, right? An old school piece. I would love to hear them now give us some good answers on this. Who's responsible? Really? Who's responsible for this? The spirit of them? During all those times in history? Or are these napped and created, broken off by the laws of nature, you know? I mean, it looks like a stem woodland point right here. Not so much at that angle, but when you turn it over like that, it looks like a stem piece. There's always a lot of truth when it comes to the glass, though. You can see the evidence of the napping right there. The shatter marks. Right on the edges. As usual. Sure enough. I mean, you got some small ones. Look at that one. What is that, a Mora Mountain? Looks like a Mora Mountain to me, guys. Piece of white glass. It's got a tip ding on it. Dinged up at the tip. Excuse my sinuses. I mean, it looks exactly like a Mora Mountain, guys. Look at it. It's got the little ears that kind of stick out a little bit. It's got the little curved bottom right here at the point. Look at that. I mean, you can't get more authentic than that. Weird when it comes to this hobby, though. I just started collecting them. Took about 3.5 years to get this little collection going, because I started seeing the patterns. You know, coming across ones like this, which is my most recent find from last weekend. A piece of glass is all it is. Or is it? Looks like another woodland piece. It's almost like they know I'm always looking for them when I walk the creeks. And I notice the patterns, their designs. And compared to what we collect when it comes to the real ones. Then I started thinking about it. After about the 5th or 6th one, I started coming across that I found. They look all too familiar. And then I just thought about it. Looks like many pieces that we discovered before and recovered. So I went ahead and recovered this one. All it takes is time out there, though. I mean, look at this. Is this like a preform or something? Is this one of their study models? I don't know if there's a such thing as too good to be true with something like this, though. That looks like it could have been a study model. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, like they kept it for the school. Part of a teaching device. A way of teaching. How this year's model is supposed to be looking. This decade. This millennium. That's how we're going to start making them look. I made a big discovery. And it looks like this. Can't really mark this down as a faker, though. This little stone piece. Looks like it could still be one, right? But who made it into that form? That's what I'm trying to get down to the bottom of. Who made him to look like this? It's one of two things. And you know what those things are. Either the laws of nature over time, or the spirit of the ancient ones, who know exactly what these things look like and how they were made, what they represent during those time frames. Just sitting around, kicking them around, picking them up with the waters, dropping them in certain locations to be banged up, shaped, formed. I mean, look at these little spear tips. I mean, look at these. They're almost like exactly the same kind of, just a little bit different, sizes. I mean, look at the bottoms. I mean, look at these blades right here. Even a flat rock looks like it could have been a study model. The proportions are perfect to one another. Almost like a mirror image, almost perfectly on both sides. Even got it down to the piece of plastic right here. Found this thing about 2.5, 3 years ago. Yeah. Got a piece of road gravel I thought was a blade. Some of the time it just takes a couple of kicks and it's made. And this right here, I mean, look at that stem piece. It's an extremely fragile piece of earthen. I was about to say earthenware, but earth. I mean, if I drop this thing right now, which I'm not going to be doing, if I drop this thing right now from like 6 inches up, this thing would shatter into like 5 or 10 pieces on how fragile this thing is. Extremely fragile. And when I saw this thing, I was like, there ain't no way they made that thing to look like that. Too much chance in that. There's got to be something more spiritual behind all this. Gotta be. And if you believe that it's natural, then there's truth in that too. If nature created these things, due to the nature of the nature, the personality of it. Because that proves that they know something. The recording of the past. I mean, look at this old school paleo piece right here. Transitional paleo, whatever it is. This fake quad made from a shard of a brick in a place where I found Daltons and quads before. Isn't that ironic? And they know I'm always looking for the quads out there, the paleo pieces. And they allowed me to find another one, just more modern. I mean, what subtype is this? I mean, look at that. Now, I'm a very spiritual human being when it comes to stuff like this. There's always a foundation for something that happens with every single thing. Into the present, right? And then into the future. Are they still making these things? But also using modern materials that just appears. like a fully intact beer bottle, ends up looking something like this. Piece of a coffee mug, maybe. A plate. Piece of crockery from 1911. And they break off a piece that looks like that. A piece of plastic. I mean, these things definitely had me fooled, though. I thought I had something until I started watching those videos from, what's that guy's video? YouTube channel, D.W. Verts, on how he makes them out of porcelain to make them look like the real deal Holyfield. But I think this is just something that was broken in the creek, and then was napped away by the laws of nature. Maybe the spirit of the ancient ones. Just the same way he does it. I thought I had something with this, though. And then I actually started believing that the ancient ones, long time ago, started figuring out how to melt sand in the bottom of the fire pits. It's almost like they made the biggest discovery. Underneath the fire pits. Melted sand. What if that did happen? What if they did discover this, though? Melted sand at the bottom of the fire pit. Wouldn't that be quite the discovery? I mean, look at the stone scraper. Look at that thing. But we all know it's not a stone scraper. Or is it? It's almost like I'm going to want to go out there and conduct some experiments, go out there and get some old busted up sinks, toilet bowls, bathtubs made of porcelain like this. Just break them up a little bit more. And just sit, just throw pieces out in creeks and stuff like that are heavy in gravel bars, and come back 50 or 60 years later, further down the creek, and find what was created. It might blow us away with what we find. Because I have a feeling that we're going to find out what is made from those pieces. As an experiment, that is. To actually find out if they're still out there making them. We can test the theory by leaving things out. Leaving out the bait for them to come by and pick up and then drop back down. And roll around in the creek. What a hobby indeed. You just never know what you're going to discover. And the truth is always going to be out there. Are they still making them? If they are, I'll be by to collect them. Thanks for always making them.